All right. Quick recap from 2 weeks ago. You guys had continued into the combat with the strange creatures that you ran into in the forest after chasing Yarrow into there. You managed to take out all of the red caps. Then Yarrow comes bolting out of the shrubbery nearby. Yarrow came out screaming that there was a monster and that everyone should run away. Um, Her and Eddie essentially ran away right after the big fucking monster had appeared and then tried to brainwash Kjax into stabbing Barnabas, which did not go through his armor. But then he went invisible. Drunk, awesome guy that he was, decided to run directly towards the invisible monster, slamming into it, or more that it slammed into him, as the second he got close enough, that thing just kicked his ass in the chest, getting him on the ground. Um, there was a little bit of fighting, but eventually, just through the monster being a cruel bastard, the party watched as this monster had essentially gutted Barnabas. Kjax managed to finish it off after Atanez and Casimir basically like cut the shit out of him, putting this big old X pattern onto his chest that basically became a target for Kjax to just finish him. Afterwards, all the bodies of the monsters you had killed had mysteriously just degraded and turned into piles of dead leaves, which was weird. Um, but yeah, you guys were left there with a Barnabas who was in the middle of dying, admitted to murdering a man and then passing away. There was some arguing, some creating of a fire to give Barnabas a final send off. Yeah, basically just some depressing shit happened after that point. But you guys managed to get back to camp, finding out that another one of these dark caps had attacked the camp while you were gone. But for keeping on forgetting the guy's name. Volko and his guards had managed to take care of it, even though one of his guards had died in the process. You then all, the next morning, get up and head out. That day, pretty much nothing happened. It was uh, peaceful. Then you spend a night on the road, another peaceful night. But the next morning is when the clouds overhead were just a heavy overcast and snow started to fall. Throughout the day, it kept falling more and more. The snow just kept piling up, and due to some bad sense of direction from a certain person, you guys had gotten off track and lost in the nearby woods. Um, Eventually, or well, not eventually, but like while you were in the middle of trying to figure out where you were going, a massive wind had just come in and bashed the side of your wagon, almost tipping it, just tearing off the cover, and little Yarrow got flung like 100 feet because she is tiny and light, and she pulled out her wings and just. But you guys managed to kind of like lean your weight over, get the wagon back to where it should be. Um, Casimir managed to go get Yarrow. You guys got back to the wagon, and then thanks to Eddie and his sense of direction, you guys got back on track. Eventually, as night came and darkness overtook the area, you guys saw a light in the distance, and following it, you came upon an abbey, where the light was coming from a large stained glass window of a rising sun. you had found out that this was an abbey dedicated to the Dawn Father, and had essentially taken residence up for the night. After, let's see, during the night, Eddie just had a weird dream, woke up screaming some person's name, and basically just went downstairs and basically just found a spot, sat there looking at a wall for the rest of the night. Come morning, Cannis, feeling the pain from the bite of that monster that he had received earlier, just like a few days ago now. The wound has gotten much worse. The skin actually looks like it's almost decaying, and there's just pus forming around it. So he decides to go find the abbot to try and possibly heal himself. Not finding him really inside the temple, but eventually he would have been told by one of the monks that he was essentially heading out to the stables, and upon exiting the abbey, he sees in one of the trees in the front of the abbey the twisted remains of the abbot. His entire body just kind of like twisted into the tree branches. And that is where we will start with Atanez, out in the middle of the front of the abbey, looking at the dead remains of the abbot.
And there's nothing around, right? Just the dead.
Yep, just the dead abbot in the tree. And I will actually take you guys to a little map I prepared here.
Good.
There we go. So this is the abbey. Oh, delete that guy real fast. So the dead abbot is out in a tree in the front, and the other 6 people in here are basically the remaining monks. The image on the left is the first floor, and the image on the right is the second floor. With this area essentially being where you guys had spent the night, and these areas essentially just sleeping quarters for the monks.
So I'm gonna go closer to the tree with the body in it. See if there are any marks, any blood trail, anything that can tell me like what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. Make a I say an investigation check or a perception check, because just I feel like big things of blood would be easier to find.
So either perception or investigation.
I'll give investigation, because it's an actual investigating. All right. You look around, and despite his torso being like all bent up, he's not actually bleeding, and there are no signs of blood around anywhere. There are like no cuts or like major marks on him.
It's like is like his body is the tree or is he
Like
impaled
he's
by the tree?
tangled in like the branches. His body is tangled in the branches. But if you like look and see his face, it's like just his face is like stuck in a sort of like look of horror, like he was essentially screaming when he died.
Fuck. I rushed into the abbey and then just come in and say, "The abbot is dead. Come in. Right outside. Right now. I need help. Right now. What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "Right now. Right now. Right now." Like I don't care who's inside. I just like yell to see if like anybody like whether it's the group or the monks to just like
There are a couple of monks who seem to be getting ready for prayer, and they just see you like run in and start like yelling. They're like, "What the fuck?" They kind of get up and follow you. Um, and yeah, they instantly, when they see the abbot, they're just like, like shocked, and just looks of horror on their faces.
I'm gonna go look for the rest of the party and just like basically tell them what the fuck happened.
All right. You guys would just be getting up. You'd probably still be on like the second floor area because this would be like early morning.
Yeah, I just like rush up the stairs, whatever, and then just same
Yeah.
thing. Just like, get the fuck up, guys. Like the abbot is dead. Like it's gruesome. Like seriously, like get the fuck up.
You all hear this.
Yeah, Casimir, just all right. What? So the abbot died? Are you awesome?
Okay, the abbot's body is into a tree. Literally torn apart in a tree. Outside.
Take me to this. Casimir's gonna.
Take me to the dead body.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm just like just taking the coroner back to take and do an autopsy.
So I've been up the entire time, hence the two
Oh,
levels
yeah.
of exhaustion. So I'm just gonna follow them slowly because I'm half speed.
Oh shit, yeah, you get half speed when you get 2 levels. Ooh. Yeah. Eddie sluggishly following you guys, but eventually everybody makes their way outside and you see the body of the abbot. His arms just kind of like tangled amongst the tree branches. His face just set in a look of horror and silent screaming.
Well then, that is a sight to see. Is this the same abbot that I like shit talked to?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
This is like the abbot, the guy who was in charge.
Feels a little bit bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm just gonna whisper to myself, "Oh my god, he found me. He's followed me. He found me."
Do any of us hear this?
I mean, and unless Eddie's trying to whisper it or like be sneaky, I mean, I assume you're just saying it.
She
I'm
said she whispered it to
whispering
herself.
to myself.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But we're in a group that went out.
Yeah, but it's also like still cloudy out and there's still wind. So I'd say that you guys are a little bit distracted by the dead body.
Yeah.
And the monks are like a few of them are like still kind of like one of them is literally bawling.
Pussy.
This is hardly a time for bawling. You should be sad.
I mean-
no, I'm just kidding. Like ball. Like,
You say that, but then you look and you see that this monk is actually a woman. So yeah, maybe feel a little bit bad.
well, I was more or less making a joke, like she's bawling, but like, you know how if you be straight up bawling.
Oh,
There you go. I'm hip with the lingo and jive. No, but Casimir's gonna look to Eddie. Eddie, did you sleep at all last night? Did you hear
No.
anything?
I've been up all night, but did I hear anything last night? By the way.
nope.
No, I've been up all night, but I didn't hear anything. I would have heard his screams, but no.
Did you see him walk out of here? Did you?
I was a bit out of it. I wasn't really paying much attention. I was hoping this was a safe place. And I whispered to him, I think he might be here. I think he might have found me.
Casimir will kind of lean into. Is this the Vecna that you're speaking of?
It's what's been haunting me. It feels like it. It has the same energy, but I thought if I cut ties with the town, I would be safe.
Safe is hard to come by these days, it would seem. I won't tell anyone of what we discussed, but have any idea what may have caused this to enlighten us.
The problem is I don't fully understand what's haunting me, how he's haunting me, how things happen. I just wanted to put distance, and I don't want them to think I'm cursed and be left alone again.
Where is their friend? Even if you are cursed, I have experience hanging around with cursed individuals. It won't shake me that easily, but I understand your apprehension. Let's do some investigating and see if we can't help narrow down what caused this unfortunate incident.
Thank you, friend.
As you guys are talking, you do see like 3 of the monks have kind of moved towards the tree, like trying to like figure out the best way of getting the abbot's body down.
I'll
Or
try to help them check the abbot's body off the tree.
yeah, one
Whether
of
it's
them
like
basically runs into like a side area and gets like a ladder that's probably used for like repairing the roof and just kind of comes over. And yeah, altogether you guys managed to get the abbot's body down. Um,
I'd like to investigate how the body got into the tree, if possible.
Okay. Make a investigation check.
Poopy.
You can't really see how the body got up there. See,
Can I? I guess I just basically kind of want to make a check of something to see, because we've dealt with the Bosu and all of that other
all of
stuff.
them.
If I know of any like creature of some sort that this is their trademark kill style or something like that, something supernatural about it or anything.
Make a history check.
No. Oh, that was to DM.
Actually,
It was a 2.
technically not really. I need to like make like a special folklore check or some shit. But
I feel like history works, especially
yeah,
like
Yeah, I think so
yeah,
too.
folklore is part of history, yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately yeah. I mean, you've heard stories since growing up about a whole bunch of creatures that do weird shit, but nothing really comes to mind.
They pretty much give you 3 choices for the knowledge checks. So, like, you can, if it's a magical creature, you can do Arcana. If it's like a historical,
true.
like natural creature, even you could do nature. You know, history could be like you could know about the history of a creature. You know, you've got religion if it's like a demon or something. So, yeah.
That's also true.
Well, I rolled a 2, so
Yeah,
take that
it's-
roll and
yeah,
add it
he-
to
he
any of
kinda-
my. Yeah. That's a highest I could have got if it'd be like a 4 or a 5. So
Yeah, still the same answer.
yeah.
But so Tanez, when you're helping the monks, you do hear one of the monks say to the other, Brother Kolef, go get the other man. He should be in the study still. It's like, oh, right. And he like kind of runs inside.
I look to the monk who just says there is another man. What do you mean other man? Is there another traveler just like us?
I didn't hear that last part.
Oh, I say, is there a traveler? Is there a traveler just like us?
So other than yourselves, if another man came here, arrived a few days ago, I can't remember his name. Cannis I think. I don't remember his name fully. He's been here a few days looking for a scroll in the archive.
Did you say Cannis? Cannis L?
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is here. You mean here? Cannis L. Here. I just run inside, following the monk who went to get him.
All right.
You see Asen is just shocked, not really sure what to do, and he just looked lost for a second, and then he's just transporting the dead body inside. I'm assuming we're taking it inside.
Yeah. All right. So, as you guys are taking the body inside, and the rest of you are kind of standing there, out there, watching Eddie just kind of chase after a monk. We are going to go into the archive, where a probably just waking up individual who had probably spent a good chunk of last night trying to find the damn scroll he had been sent here to find, as when you arrived, these monks didn't appear to have any sort of system of organization, and most everything was just kind of placed randomly around, and since it's a scroll, there's no, like, name or title on it that you could find, so you basically have to go through, like, dozens upon dozens of scrolls to find what you were looking for. Um, but you essentially fell asleep in a chair and just kind of like woke up to the morning light. You did eventually find the scroll, probably around midnight. But you suddenly hear the door open as one of the monks come in.
No.
Oh, sorry, Mr. L. Is it L? Pronounced L? E-L?
Mhm.
But there has been an issue. The abbot is deceased.
Uh. So I'm kind of like shaggy looking, a blonde elf, pale skin with rosy cheeks. My hair is kind of shoulder length, kind of pushed back underneath a hat that seems to be pushed down like too tightly on my head. I've got a nice prim coat on that's over a set of just average traveling clothes. And probably, seeing as I'm an elf, I probably didn't actually sleep, so I've just been kind of like up studying
Yeah.
books. I've got a black cat on my lap who I'm just absent-mindedly petting as I've got a big ass tome open on one side of me, and then on the other side of me I have a scroll that I was writing some words on. But as I'm told that the abbot is deceased, what, was he that old?
I mean, he was only really in his like early 60s, but
Bad
he's
luck.
like as he is talking
Apologies. I
at
suppose
this
you'll need
point.
to make preparations to
At this point, as the monk and you are talking, suddenly the monk is kind of pushed out of the way as Eddie, being super Eddie, just kind of like barges into the room.
I heard the name, and I could not believe it. Friend, how are you?
Eddie? Is that you? What kind of take off my big ass glasses and blow on them and wipe them off with my coat and then put them back on. What are you doing here? Ah, by the dawn, Father.
Destiny has put you in my path again, friend. I cannot be any more happier to see you today, especially with the circumstances.
I stand up abruptly and probably, scoot the cat right off my lap, and he's like, wow, kind of runs
Yeah.
off to the side of the room.
You never do that to a cat. Come on.
Hopscotch just kind of like jumps off and just goes under a table somewhere.
I run over and give Eddie a hug, and then I take a step back and I'm like, you didn't kill the abbot, did you?
Seriously? I thought we knew each other better.
I thought maybe you played him some music or something.
I've gotten better. Better than you remember. I promise.
I got some earmuffs. I'll hear you sometime.
That's a deal, my friend. That's a deal. Come. You must meet the others.
right. Kind of like look back at my scrolls and why don't you go on without me? I'm gonna gather up my things. I'm not really sure. I just came here for a scroll. I don't know that I should necessarily be getting involved in. I really am sorry about the abbot. Was it? Did he have a heart attack? What happened?
As I was trying to say before getting interrupted, I believe his corpse was found outside, mangled in a tree.
Not quite natural death, my friend.
I really shouldn't be getting involved. I have business back at. Well, I went and joined the college. I'm an associate now, or at least I'm trying to be. And it took me 3
Come on.
days to find the scroll. So I mean,
For old time's sake, please.
let me just gather up my things. Why don't you? I'll meet up with you in a bit. And I kind of go over because I do have a big ass pile of. You see, I've got at least like 12 scrolls set out and some books and stuff. So start gathering up my stuff.
I shall wait for you outside, friend.
I'll at least stop by the courtyard. No no promises that I'm gonna get involved though.
So I walk to meet everybody inside where they're handling the corpse, the mangled corpse.
Yep. Let's see. They'd probably take. Well, his room's about the only room that's probably not occupied, so they'd probably take him upstairs to his. Or no, yeah, they'll probably get a table and set him into this like one area off to the. It seems to be the separate room with a staircase that seems to go down underground. Not really sure what's down there, but yeah, they kind of just set up the body over here on a table. What are the rest of you doing? As the body has been moved and Eddie just kind of ran off.
I probably would have kind of like hung out near Eddie, but not following him. Like if Eddie went into anything, I probably would have hung outside the door and just kind of waiting to see where Eddie went.
Alright. Be back 1 second. I think I left the TV on.
No worries.
1 sec. Ugh.
Amir's gonna probably walk up to Adnaz and ask him if he knows like anything about what, like, do you know anything about what could have killed him? What could be out there?
Would I have heard of body entangled in trees before like that?
I would say make a history check. Because you're trying to like remember things. Like again, like a few again, it's kind of like a broad thing. Like there are quite a few creatures of mythology or like monsters that kind of tend to leave people in trees. Nothing really specific pops out at you.
There are quite a few creatures, evil spellcasters, maybe that can do such a thing. It's kind of pinpointed really at this time who or what did it. But it is very regrettable that the abbot had to go this way.
Actually, with that roll, like you'd also know that like there are just standard predators that drag their prey up into trees. Like I think mountain cats do it. Like there are certain.
Yeah, but was the abbot eaten?
Nope, there are no marks on him whatsoever.
Yeah, that rolls
Well,
up
that is kind of creepy.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say, it's a good thing Barnabas isn't here, because if he heard things dragged up into trees to be eaten, he'd be like, "See, mountain lions," or whatever it was he was talking about.
Hang on,
Yeah,
maybe the new
Yarrow right
character has
now
the same
is
kink.
Yara right now is probably just like, I'm gonna go lock myself into a room because this reminds her way too much of the other creature.
Too spoopy.
Yep.
From what I can gather, it doesn't seem to be anything we've like dealt with before. At least definitely not a Buso or a what the fuck were they called?
You're right. It's not their usual
Kubai.
and
Yeah.
it's not their usual way of killing. But as I said, like I've seen that before, but there was no indication on the ground. There was no blood trail, no nothing I could really go off with to determine what did that. Casimir, do you have any idea to what could do that? Maybe.
No, I can't say that I do.
Darn it.
Perplexing nonetheless.
So, Atanaz, I'm assuming you guys are like probably having this conversation out in the middle of like the big open area.
Yeah, if we didn't have it on the move while moving the body, we'd probably have it in a common area inside the abbey.
Yeah. I'd say like as you guys are kind of like moving and talking, you do see that coming out of one of these side doors, like the opposite door from where like Eddie's standing outside one of these doors, but from another door connected to the archive, you do see a familiar person trying to sneak away. It is Cannis. He is apparently trying to sneak out and not get involved in this shit.
And then I see him, right?
Yo, yeah, you see him. Like, you just straight up see him trying to get the fuck out.
All right, and as soon as I see him, it's Cannis L, you son of a gun!
I look. I kind of like look over and I see Atanaz, and then I am just going to. I was holding a book, kind of like up against my chest. I just drop it and I just start sprinting down one of the hallways.
Like, away from him?
Mm-hmm.
Are you running away from me?
I am.
I am
So there is,
sprinting
like,
after you.
you probably would have came out of this door. There is a door. So yeah, I should probably put your guys' tokens on here. Just so we can see where everybody's at. So Casimir, Yarrow is probably off hiding somewhere.
Okay, so it looks like pretty much running away would be just towards the front door. So I probably run to the front door and then like I'm trying to like get it open, but I'm fumbling with the bar or whatever's keeping it shut, and it's like no, I turn around and like have my back pressed to the door. I knew this day was gonna come. You're here to kill me, aren't you?
What are you talking about, you dumb fuck? Why would I kill you? Last time I heard, you were the one dead.
Where's is Pike outside? Is he gonna gank me when I run out the door? Is that the plan?
No. Pike is not here. I am by myself. Pike is probably dead.
What?
I didn't get anything about a Pike in anybody's backstory stuff. Who is that?
Oh,
Like, you
I'll
send it to me in
you.
chat because I don't know who the hell that is.
What are you doing here then? You're not here for me?
As I said, last time I heard, I thought you were dead. Of course I'm not here for you. I'm just traveling with my friends here. What are you doing here?
Can we talk privately?
Sure, no problem.
Where do you guys go to talk privately?
I kind of probably into one of these little rooms here.
Yeah, stairwell going up the second floor.
Cool. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my spell list. I want to see if I have any paranoia spells that can make it so nobody can hear me talking.
Casimir's just gonna look to Namir and go, what was all of that about?
I really don't know. It seems like everybody knows this fucker.
Oh, he's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, Eddie, you would have heard all of this suddenly coming from like the side.
Me and Adson, can we hop down into the whisper chat?
Yes, you can.
Secrets.
God damn!
All right.
If
See you guys on the whisper
I'm gonna
chat.
say what I'm gonna say. If you want to let people roll to try to listen in, you can
I'm not
let
trying.
them. You know.
All right, so eventually Atnaz and Cannis come out of the closet.
Oh god.
Okay. All right.
Well done.
Hey.
Well done.
Hey, we're an open and accepting group.
Especially Casey.
Yes, but I do have a question for the dungeon master.
Yep.
Say someone were to want to read Namir's book, and that said someone knew comprehend languages.
Are you going to try to read his book?
We're like reading it together.
Yeah.
All right. So, Will, I need you to make a wisdom save as you attempt to read the book. Casimir, as you cast I assume you're casting the spell so you can understand Abyssal, it's Abyssal, and attempting to read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to roll twice.
Yeah, I also need you to make a wisdom save with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yep.
Oops.
All right. So, Will, you got over what you needed to get over. What were you looking for in the book?
Specifically a demon or some such entity that would kill people and put them up in a tree.
So specifically, honestly, I don't know off the top of my head if there are demons that do that, but there are. It's less of like finding a demon that does that, or more of like finding a chapter on parts of the abyss where like the actual trees themselves, the branches are actual snakes, and it's talking about people getting tangled up in like basically giant fucking tree snakes and shit. But there's nothing specific about demons and like putting dead bodies in trees. Casimir, yeah, you have a whole different fucking problem. So, all right. Goddamn. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, good. You only take 10 points of psychic damage.
Oh, only?
Yeah, this was you find that as you try to read the book, all of the images and everything are just swirling around, and it's almost as if the book doesn't want you to read it, and you feel an intense pain in your head. Even if you had made the DC of 15, that just meant you wouldn't have taken the damage. This book is attached to Namir, and only he can read it. Anyone else tries to read it, they get pain.
Do I understand that it's bound to him, or just that I took the psychic damage?
Yeah, no, you probably wouldn't understand that, so
Okay.
never mind that entire explanation.
Are they doing
Okay.
that?
But
in the
Namir would
middle?
know that.
Are you guys
Namir,
doing
you
this
actually
in the
would have
middle
known
of
that.
Are you guys doing this?
We
in the
were.
middle
Where
of
are you guys
You were in the
at? Like,
closet.
We're
all right,
doing
you
that while
guys
you're
were in the other stairwell doing this while they were in that stairwell doing the demonic, like, all this shit.
Just the monks watching this after their abbot gets
Yeah.
killed.
But I'd say, Namir, since it is your magic item, you would know that if someone else tries to read from this book, it's just pain for them.
And
So
you
Oh, well.
read it?
And you didn't tell me? And you didn't tell
He
me?
said I would know. I would know. I didn't know.
Yeah, I would. You now know.
I now
It is
know.
something you've just found out after one of your friends attempted to read it.
All right. I assume like I see him like kind of like jerk back in like shock or
Yeah,
pain.
like you're getting a major nosebleed.
All right. I like snap the book shut. It's like, shit. Was that? Did that hurt you? I know it was dangerous, but
Yes, just a
Usually
little bit.
lucky that I rolled low on that damage.
perhaps my affliction protects me a little more than you. It'd be best that you don't try from now on. Regardless, I don't think we found anything we might need.
I think that's best. I'll leave the reading of that book to you. No, I do worry about it.
I wouldn't. All right, let's go find the other.
Yes.
Alright, so eventually you guys all kind of congregate back in the main area. Yarrow is basically just upstairs with, I'll say Volko's also upstairs. And his guards are basically just kind of... you just see Volko kind of coming down at one point be like, what the fuck is going on? Something about dead person? There was a monk up here.
Yes,
Did something
dead
fucking
abbot.
happen again?
Yes, a dead abbot in the trees.
I swear to God, maybe I should have not gone with you people. It seems like people just die around you at this point. I
That
may
is
have
the
been
trap.
better off by myself. Okay, well, right. Are we staying or are we, leaving?
Well, if the snowstorm dies down, I assume we'll leave. But assumedly it's still pretty blocked up, right?
There's it's stopped for now, but there is still a, heavy overcast.
Imagine we'll wait till the storm clears.
Yeah.
Perhaps, excuse me, if I may, has anybody come during the night or left? Do we know?
Eddie was awake all night, and I don't think she saw anybody.
I didn't
He saw
hear
anybody.
anything. I didn't hear anybody. I didn't even hear this man die this horrible death. I don't understand.
Were you playing music?
I was not.
I'm sorry. I should probably introduce. My name's Cannis. I've met Eddie before. We're friends to an extent. I'm just a wizard. I was here to get some scrolls. Um, I kind of give a frightened look to Atnaz and look back away. You know, I could help out if you want.
Nothing would make me happier, friend.
If you happen to know of any creatures that would kill a person in such a manner, that could help point us in the direction.
I'm gonna go over to the altar here, and I am going to put down my backpack and kind of dig through a whole bunch of the books that I have. So whatever the check is, if it's relevant, I could maybe get advantage on it.
Oh yeah, no, this would definitely give you advantage. I would say, let's see, the mirror's looking for more are you looking more for folklore type stuff?
I'm probably digging through. I mean, whatever
I'd
I
say
would know, you know, history
you
or
can,
religion, you know.
yeah,
I'm bad
I'd
at
say you could,
history, so I'd rather do religion.
you can make a religion check.
Okay. With advantage and expertise. So I might
Damn,
know something.
okay, yeah. So, creatures that leave creatures in trees. There are a number of God, I have to open the book. There are a number of strange folklore and specifically like forest spirit type creatures that tend to like kill and leave their prey like hanging from trees. Um, but those are usually areas where it's like a thick wooded area. You guys are kind of like in a vast hilly area with just like very like a scattering of trees every once in a while. About the nearest forest is the Nethelwood to the west. But all of those, like, they usually leave like clear signs that they did this. Like, you would know, like, there would be markings. Some would leave totems in the area.
Well, there's a whole chapter on woodland beings that uh, leave people in trees, but to be honest, we're not anywhere near the woods, and they usually leave some sort of token or something. I kind of flip through some more pages. I'm at a bit of a loss. Perhaps a different book. Uh, I seem all
Or perhaps
flustered.
we're going about this the wrong way. Instead of looking for a creature, we should be looking for a person.
Good point.
Did we determine a murder weapon, perhaps?
I don't believe we have.
Yeah, you guys just took the body down. You haven't even examined it yet.
I will examine the body.
Perhaps that should be a good place to start, if I may be so bold.
I go in front of Casimir and say, "Yeah, Casimir, let Cannis have a look at the body. He's very good at finding stuff."
I agree.
Well,
And I will give him guidance.
All right. You guys eventually find your ways into this side room where they essentially set up a table and laid the body down on it. It is currently covered with a sheet. There are two monks there. The woman you saw earlier outside appears to be standing over the body, as well as another monk.
I want to give him bardic inspiration as well, but it involves singing, and he doesn't trust my singing, so I don't know if you want to roleplay that.
Do it.
Like, you see me take out my lute.
Probably do it
What do
while
you
I'm.
do?
I would assume you do it while we're walking up the stairs and I have my back to you, so I don't even notice you take it out.
And I just start singing while giving you bardic inspiration.
I probably turn around, like looking shocked, and like just stop on the stairs and, Eddie, you really have gotten better.
See, I didn't kill you this time.
And then I'm gonna keep walking up the stairs.
All right. Eventually,
Did you say kill you this time?
No,
almost happened.
Antonaz,
It almost happened.
it's a figure of speech.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, eventually you guys make your way to a room where the body has been laid down, and there are two monks currently, I guess, kind of discussing what to do, because this is a murder, and they're not really used to a murder out in the middle of nowhere. Um, I would say, as you're getting near the door, Cannis, make a perception check.
Me? I'm not in the front.
Yes. Oh, you're not. Who was in the front when you guys were heading? Okay, Namir, make a perception check. Yeah, you hear muffled noises before opening the door, and both the monks gotta get silent. Gotta look to
Talking about something of interest.
as the door opens, the both them looking at you and the woman. I was like, "Oh, can I help you with something?"
Well, considering someone's just been murdered, we found it best to maybe look at how that might have happened.
Oh,
You do realize that without Cannis pipes up from behind you. Without any authority, that sounds incredibly misguided. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, Namir just gives you a dirty look.
Cannis looks away like
We
really
investigate it.
abashedly.
well, we were just going to send a letter to one of the fucking cities
One of the fucking cities.
to
That's a great name.
Tivak to see if they could send a law enforcement person.
Well, feel free to go write that letter. We won't mess with anything. We just want to look.
If law enforcement comes, we don't have to stay, do we?
Well, it's up to you.
Good.
I mean, either way, the letter's not going to leave until the storm is past, and it'll take a few days. Even then, we're just trying to preserve the body as best we can.
I might have a spell for that. No, I don't.
uh,
You said the body was
but
covered with a sheet.
yeah, and
You guys hear a thump as Hopscotch jumps up onto the body and starts making biscuits on it.
I was like,
Lovely.
Hopscotch.
Mr. L, if you could please.
I go over and pick him up.
He's like,
Right.
his claws have dug into the sheet, and as you pull him off, the sheet gets pulled off, and you just see the twisted face of the abbot.
Well, I do
As
want
was
to.
like, ah! Like trying to.
Well, I
Perhaps
did want to.
you console her out of the room.
Well,
Seriously, Cannis, you cannot take care of that cat again. Like, how long has this been going on? Come on.
Well, he's not so much a cat as he is the spirit of a cat. Listen, Hopscotch, can you just stay? Just put him on my shoulder.
I just look at him. Cannis, buddy, now.
yeah, Upscotch stays on your shoulder mostly because he has to obey your orders
And
as a familiar.
yeah. So can I investigate the body? I want to look to see if I can determine cause of death.
If you can convince the monks, because they're kind of just sitting there like, you are complete strangers.
Yeah, no, that's
I
fair.
show them.
I'm gonna try convincing them of letting us.
I show them my Inquisition sign.
Oh, they're like, oh, well, I guess writing the letter is mute now. If you believe this was some kind of creature, I don't know how the Inquisition.
This was not natural cause, brother. I think there is malice afoot, whether it's human or not. But it seems strange enough that I may need to report it. But you should still write that letter just in case. But you should also let my friend here do his job. He is very good.
It's
Right,
not my job. I'm a wizard. I go to college.
You know, you could shut up at any time.
I lean over, touch his shoulder, and tell him, "Don't take it too hard."
It's okay. He seems like he is mean to people he likes. I think he likes me.
Oh boy.
Sure, you're very likable, but in my personal experience, he can be a bit of a dick.
As you guys are talking, you do hear a voice as someone kind of peeks and is like, you see Yarrow just kind of, guys, what's going on?
Oh my god, that person is incredibly small. Do you guys have a child traveling with you?
I keep saying the same thing, and they keep telling me no.
I turned to Casimir and said, Casimir, can you make sure
Right.
he's...
Can you babysit?
Damn it.
I understand. And Casimir says, "Hey, little fella."
I can't wait till Ava sees this recording.
I
Tell me
just
you
told her
have
you're
candy.
treating her as a child, and she went, no!
He's gonna go up and just convince Yara, like, everything's okay, just why don't you hang out with Saratva and have fun in the room.
I'm gonna turn to Adonaz and
He
Eddie.
goes away.
I'm gonna say, so that's her dad. I can't believe he lets her dye her hair. That's, let alone adventure. That's bad parenting.
No, that's not how bad.
My eyes
It's
go
complicated.
wide, and I just whisper, Daddy.
Oh god.
That's her daddy.
God.
Hey, you guys started it, not me.
Technically, I started it.
Yeah, they all jumped on.
Alright, can we get back to the body, please?
Yes, the woman kind of just. They kind of just get out of the way.
Alright, thank you, brother. I'll let you know if we find anything.
Right. And, yeah. I mean, they're not going anywhere. They're just standing there at the side.
No, fair enough.
I mean, yeah, this is kind of something they need to.
So can I determine cause of death?
Yeah, are you going to investigate the body? I don't know if you have a thing for that as an investigator, but
I mean,
I would say do an
no.
investigation check.
I mean, this
Or
is
it could
worse
be a
for me.
medicine
Yeah,
check.
I was gonna say this is worse for me, but I think it'd probably be medicine if I'm trying to
Yeah.
determine the cause of death.
Yeah, make a
I
medicine check.
am not proficient with medicine, and that's wisdom, and I don't have advantage, so I got a 7. He definitely looks dead.
Thank you. We would have never been able to deduce that without your.
I'm a
That's
wizard.
intellect.
What do you want from me? Do wizards go to medical school? No, I said I go to college, but it's like arcane universe. You know, I kind of step back from the body.
Well, at least we now know that the abbot is in fact dead, thanks to our wizard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you both say he's quite accomplished.
Yeah, but not quite a doctor.
But he can spot a live body from a dead one, so we'll give him that.
I feel like
Right?
so there's 4 of you, and 2 of you are really mean.
Yeah, the two that don't know you.
It takes some time for them to warm up to you. I've been there. I'm still cold about one of them, though.
Yeah, Eddie, you know very well why we are cold to you.
Oh,
I just look
Is it
down
the
to the
music?
ground.
He really has gotten better. If you had heard him play, 8 months ago, I mean,
I'm not talking about music, Cannis. He knows.
Eddie has received enough flack from everyone. I think we should give him a break, and I apologize, Cannis, if I seemed a little hurt. I was just eager to find out what may have caused this death. I'm sorry if I took that out on you.
Eddie, you feel a rub on your leg as Hopscotch nuzzles up on your leg.
I squat down and start just caressing its head.
Hopscotch vrooms real loud. He's very good.
Here, let's get his token out here. Boop.
Ease.
Love how you used an actual fucking picture of hopscotch.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
He's a good boy.
Fucking good kitty.
Alright, so what else you guys want to do? One of you have tried to. Well, you have found out that the dead body is in fact a dead body.
After taking all that psychic damage, I'm gonna try to take a short rest. I guess I'm gonna be like, I need to lie down for a moment. I have a very powerful migraine coming on.
I want to ask around in the abbot if they have any swords or shields they can spare to fight whatever is coming.
Right? As you ask this, the monk that you asked is like, we're pacifists. We don't have anything like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not, not even from the olden days?
I mean, there might be something in the catacombs, but we don't really like to rub from the dead.
I'm seriously pondering if I am above that.
Say if Casimir heard that and Namir heard it, Namir would have seen Casimir's eyebrows like.
And if I caught that, I would have given the same look like, I'm looking at you, don't do it.
Well, let's see. Somebody died mysteriously, and their place is over a giant catacomb.
Yeah,
I feel like
man.
that might be worth exploring, if not even to steal
To be
anything.
fair, I never said giant catacomb.
Wait, there's.
Fair,
I'm
but
sorry.
catacomb in general.
I was thinking about spell formulae. There's a catacomb here.
Yes, just some old tombs from when the abbey was first built.
Might be worth a look. There seems to be an exorbitant amount of undead in these parts.
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. The catacombs have special spells intact to make sure that none of that type of stuff happens. With
Have they
the
been checked?
Dawnfather's blessing.
Of course,
Have they been checked
Father be
recently?
praised.
Yes. Every few days we go down and just kind of tidy the place up, and I
How long
believe,
ago was the last time you checked?
I believe Brother Hannock was the last one who checked, and that was maybe about 2 days ago.
I'm sorry, I feel like I recognize the name, but Brother Hannock?
Oh yes, he's one of our brothers. He
Could you point him out to me?
um she kind of like looks, kind of like has to go around because the person with her isn't the who she's looking like. She kind of looks like, oh, he's over there. I'm praying with brother Kolev.
Right, of course, Brother Hannock. How could I forget? We'll have to have a little chat with him.
All right. Are you done with the body? We'd like to cover it back up. We're just gonna cover it back up. Cover it back up.
But before they cover it back up, can I try to just use the eyes of minute seeing to like just study the body as best I can, not medically, just visually?
What does that item do?
It just gives me advantage on, like, I think investigation or perception checks for something that's close, like 2 feet away from me.
All right. Are you just looking over the body to see if you find anything
Yeah.
unusual? Yeah. Go ahead and make I'd say investigation check as you're looking over the body. All right. As you're looking over the body, you guys didn't really see it before, as the body had been strung out in the cold. So this person's like, they kind of look blue, as they essentially have been freezing over a long period of time. But you see, very lightly around the throat, there is what looks to be hand marks.
Like roughly human size.
Roughly. Again,
So,
the body was out in the cold for a while, so like you're only really seeing it probably because of your magical spectacles.
then I'm gonna turn to head like out of the room that has the dead body in it, and kind of wait by the door for everybody else.
All right. Unless anybody else wants to do anything with the body.
That just
Anything
I
sounds
I
with
wrong.
the
know.
body?
I know.
It's
So
wrong.
wrong.
I mean, to be
So
fair,
wrong.
after being out of that cold, he is pretty stiff.
Careful, remember we have Casey in the
Yeah,
chat.
I know. I know. We need
Be
I need
careful,
to
guys.
stop
You're
making
getting me all
jokes.
horned up.
And he has his robe on.
Okay.
I would seriously be careful right now.
You and your fucking sex cult. Okay, Casey, that's just fucking creepy. All right.
Also, I don't know how he's like, oh, watch out, Casey. He's the horny character when I've literally never done anything horny. It's just
Yeah, he's not the bard.
I don't think we've literally had any of that in any of our campaigns.
Okay,
Thank
well, let me
God.
spice things up. I go over to the dead body and remove my robe.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So yeah, unless you guys have anything else you need to do, I would say you probably leave the room.
So he was strangled. It seems.
By the
Well-
tree?
That's something new.
I doubt it was the tree. The handprints looked human shaped.
I just
Ish.
sigh. I sigh of relief right there when he says human shape. Just
Ish.
I tensed up again.
Perhaps I judged you too hastily. So you say there were human-ish handprints around his neck?
Looked like it. I'm curious about this brother Hannick, was it? If he actually tidied up the crypt. Although, I suppose it's not worth going over there and accusing him of not tidying up the crypts if they are tidied, so perhaps we should check them out first. I'm getting ahead of myself. You all do whatever you... I'm sure I have a book to read or something.
I'm reading can come later. I'm sure the book will still be there.
Oh! Suddenly, like, Cannis gets, like, a really, like, concerned look on his face, and then he just runs off, running back to where he first was spotted by Atanaz, because he dropped his book. He picks up the tome that he dropped, and dusts it off, and puts it back in his pack. Sorry, that was silly of me.
Indeed. Should we, I think I might ask around some of the the monks around here, see if the abbot had any enemies or perhaps rubbed someone the wrong way.
If there's any young boys, ask them first.
Oh, damn it.
Damn it!
Yeah, so I'll be sure to keep an eye out for young boys.
Oh fuck!
They are monks, not priests.
Potato, potato.
Casey asked if he rubbed anybody the wrong way. I mean, come on.
You gotta
Alright,
think
so-
little boys.
Besides, religion in this world doesn't stop you from having relations.
With little boys.
No, with the little boys.
I walked right into that one.
Yep, that you did.
I go with
if,
Casimir
if
just
you're
in case.
gonna go ask around, maybe well, perhaps we should split into two groups. Maybe one group to ask around, and maybe another group to investigate this crypt.
In my experience, splitting together, especially when one is going into a crypt, may not be the.
Oh no, please
To
go
be
ahead.
honest,
Go right
I
ahead.
like the idea. Them three can go into the crypt, and me and you, Cass, will go ask people.
Yeah, actually, I think that might work out pretty well. I think probably our Inquisitor friend and our friend Cannis, who's already friends with them, might be able to glean more from them than you or I.
I just look at Casimir with teary eyes. The betrayal.
Maybe I was too hasty. We can stay together.
No, on second thought, I think that might be a good idea.
Alright, Casimir, I think you had your fun. Alright, let's just act as the monk, and then let's go check the crypt all together. Look at Eddie right here. You're about to... poor Eddie. Anyway, let's go.
Right, so Kaz is.
Casimir, do you
No, no.
have your greatsword or your scythe or anything with you at the moment? Do you have your staff? What do you have with you?
I have my sword in its sheath.
That's I'm as we're kind of like walking towards wherever we're going next. That's a peculiar weapon. It. That's not something. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh,
Hey,
by
my
all-
grandma has one just like it.
Oh, by all means.
Is your
speak
grandma a
your
witch?
mind.
Well, actually, my grandma's dead, but
I mean, I wouldn't really say there's anything specifically witchy about the sword.
Probably his whole outfit though. He looks like a witchy bitchy.
I mean,
bitchy.
technically, he is wearing traditional, what is it, more
Widower's garb.
yeah, widow's garbs. So yeah,
Okay. Alright.
so he is mourning someone. The blade itself is in the sheath. You can't. It just looks like a fancy handle, so it's nothing really.
Yeah, gosh, quit metagaming, Alex. God.
Now, when he starts doing the witchy shit, yeah, full on, you can call him out.
Yeah, call me out on that shit.
Okay, so who do we want to
Yeah,
go
he's
talk
a bad one.
I vote we talk to this brother Hannick.
Good place to start. Lead the way.
Apparently he was. Oh, I'm not. I like to be kind of in the back.
No, you've been here a day or two, haven't you? Surely you know the layout better than us.
I spent about the whole time. I point over to the little study in that room right there.
Understood. I suppose. Yes, let's find this brother. Hannick, was it?
Yep.
So we're going to begin. Casimir is going to begin the search for brother Hannick.
All right. Well, he is praying with brother Kolev, as the monk told you. They are currently over here, kind of like in front of a statue of a winged figure, kind of like kneeling and doing some praying, likely praying for the soul of their dead abbot.
who is the winged figure? Is it like just like a basic angel, or is it some like specific figure of importance?
So what you see in the figure is essentially they look like a human, like basically a human with a pair of wings, but their face is like basically almost made of like stained glass and is almost just like a shining face. It is kind of a sort of image of the Dawnfather's like avatar. He looks essentially humanoid, but you never actually his face is essentially like you never actually see his face because his entire head is basically shining like the sun. Yeah, something like that. Just a bunch of like stained glass pieces into like a shape of a head and there's like a light inside just glowing.
I'd probably, when we enter this little chapel, I'd probably get down on one of the pews and, bow my head and pray.
Yeah. And like behind the statue, there are these massive stained glass windows, depicting different sort of celestial thing, like a rising sun in one, and another what looks to be the Dawn Father fighting some ancient foe. But yeah, you guys approach the altar, um, and you see you're not really sure which one is Brother Hannock. Like which one is Brother Hannock and which one is Brother Kolev. As they
Casimir
are
just go, Brother Hannix, you have a moment. Sorry to interrupt your prayers.
Yeah. And the monk on the left goes like, "Oh, certainly. What can I help you with?"
We're quite troubled by the abbot's untimely passing and the
Yes, may
manner of
the
which.
Dawn Father guide him.
Yes, may he guide him. Is there anyone that you may know of or anything that would have wished the abbot harm?
I mean, not that I know of. We're just humble monks in the monastery. The nearest village is a few days away. No one here wishes him ill harm.
Understood. And just out of pure curiosity, did you see or hear anything last night around the time this may have occurred? What were you doing by any chance?
No, I was in our sleeping quarters with the others.
I'm gonna stand up from praying and walk over. Excuse me, so something my friend forgot to mention. We were just, we had heard maybe that the, um, person who, or thing, of course, not saying necessarily that it's a person, that got in last night, maybe came in through the crypts. Um, Now you were the last one down there, were you not?
Yes, I was doing what we are supposed to do, and I was just tidying things up and making sure the crypts were in good order.
And were they?
As usual, yes.
Now you said tidying up, so is there something making a mess down there? I'm
Uh,
just wondering,
the every once in a while we get, the usual pests, spiders, rats, that sort of thing that try to make their home down there. I believe last summer we had a raccoon, but that's besides the point.
And any way from the crypt into the monastery?
Um, Not that I know of. There's usually only the one entrance.
Right.
Said that you were in the sleeping quarters with the others. Was the
Yes.
abbot in those quarters with you?
No, he has his own room.
Where is that room?
Um, It's upstairs. You take the first. I could just show you. He essentially goes and takes this staircase here and leads you to this room right here. Um, this is his usual quarters.
Is there a window?
Yes, there is one window off to the side right here.
Is it open?
Is it open? Yeah.
No,
Hey,
it is not. It is not open.
Now, brother, who is buried in the crypt?
Oh, number of individuals. The monastery itself is close to maybe 200 years old. Anything ranging from nobility to knights. I believe there's a wizard who was buried here some time ago.
No one of any import, I imagine.
Uh, I don't remember the name off the top. The name would be on the crypt. Like I said, there are many people down there. Hard to remember every name.
Does he seem forthcoming with us?
Um, make an insight check.
No advantage, but still 22.
Oh. Uh, he seems like he's telling a partial truth. Like he's being a little finicky.
On, do I like just that in general, or do I get a specific part that he seems to be finicky on?
He was kind of fidgeting just a little bit more when he was talking about the mage, like not knowing the name.
Oh, I'm sure if you are down in the crypts so often, I mean, you have to remember the name. I mean,
Well, we all take turns. It's just this week was mine.
turn to the guy next to him. Do you know there's some mage in the crypt? Do you name ring a bell?
Oh, that guy stayed downstairs. You guys are upstairs now.
Are there any
Probably.
other monks walking by?
Um, not at the moment. Most of them seem to be downstairs. Yarrow and I'd say Volko and all of his people are currently over here in this area, but yeah, there are currently no monks walking past.
Right. Fair enough. Suppose I wouldn't know every word either. We don't all have a mind made of metal. Um. Anyway. Can I, I'm not gonna like open any drawers or anything. I just kind of want to take a stroll around the room. Look for anything that looks like it's out of place.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I was gonna say I would have like to have been doing that also. So could I
Oh,
be helping him while he does that?
yeah. So there'd be advantage if you don't already have it from your high glass things. I can remember. Do they give you advantage on any investigation? Or
Only if it's like
I mean,
something
yeah,
that's within like a foot or two of my face.
okay.
So not really for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking around his room, you with an 18, you do notice one thing at his sitting desk. There are some side drawers on the desk. You see that one of the drawers, the like where there's that like little crack, it appears like the wood has been sort of splintered, almost like someone tried to like shove something in there and open the drawer, as there is a lock on it.
I'm going to. I'm assuming Casimir saw it too. So I'm gonna make eye contact with him, and then look towards the lock, and then make eye contact with him again, and then I'm going to walk over to the monk, and this whole situation has just been so stressful. Could you show me to the kitchens? I need something to eat.
Um, certainly. A little strange after recently seeing a dead body, but okay. And he kind of like takes you downstairs into like this area down here. That's kind of like a makeshift kitchen slash alchemy place.
Once the coast is clear, I'm looking in that drawer.
All right. You like, do you just like try to open it?
I'm gonna invest. Like, I'm gonna take a look at it and make sure if I open it, nothing bad is gonna happen with anything.
All right, make an investigation check for traps. You find no traps.
Okay, and I'm just gonna open it and see
Yep,
what's in the
it just
drawer.
yeah. As you open it, you see that like the lock is kind of like near the top of the drawer, and as you open it, like the lock almost seems to fall out as when whoever pried this open essentially broke it. And as you open it, it is empty.
I'm gonna move my hand around in it to like put my hand down on the bottom of it and like move around and see if maybe there's like the bottom like gives out and
All right.
slides or if there's anything.
Let's say make another investigation check. Yeah, you look around, you don't really find anything. You don't find like any sort of like secret hiding place.
He just did the DM like beard rub. He did the
Yeah.
Dude, with a beard like this, I have to do that like almost constantly just to keep the hair out of my fucking mouth.
We will cast Detect Magic.
All right. You cast detect magic. So who's currently with the group? Other than I assume the group is still together. Other
it's
than
everyone, but
Cannis.
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you don't notice anything magical in the room, but I mean, other than the normal magic items that certain people are carrying. But yeah, nothing in the room that appears to be just straight magical.
I'm gonna just start looking around in the desk and the surrounding areas and like was there like even like a dust imprint in that drawer of like something that may have been in there or
With that investigation, there actually, yeah, I'd say there'd be a little bit of dust, and there is like a patch in the middle that looks like there's a clean patch, and then some dust off to the sides, as if like something was in there,
can
like
I
it
make
was
out what shape?
disturbed. It's just like a blur, like because whoever like took whatever was in there, like essentially grabbed it and like moved it. There's no like precise shape. It was kind of like whoever took this like was trying to do it quickly. So there's no real imprint of whatever it was.
I, I guess
But something was taken.
something was taken. I can't tell what it was. The lock was broken. When I cast the detect magic, there was no magic on the lock or anything. Or
Nope.
I guess I'm just gonna look around the room again really good and like under the bed and everything and any pieces of paper that may have anything written on them.
I mean, there's some holy text lying nearby. There's nothing really.
On my way up, could I have stopped any monk that I passed other than that first guy who I probably left in the larder and just asked, about the wizard that was buried in the crypts. I heard there was I'm a big arcane, enthusiast. Heard there was a wizard buried down in the crypts. Do you know his name? I wanted to see if it was anyone I
Oh,
knew.
yes. Well, I don't really remember his name. I think Cannis spends most of his time down there. He'd probably know. Um, but as far as I know, he was some sorcerer or wizard for a little over 100 years ago. Apparently, donated a lot of money and requested to be buried here. It's very, from what I remember, special burial. His specific chamber is actually has two doors, locked doors to make sure he's extra protected. I don't really know much about
Why?
wizards and strange
Why would
things.
a body need to be extra protected?
He was buried with a number of items. Like there are some tombs down there where people are buried with things they have. We have a few nobles and knights who were buried in their armor and swords and things like that, and they tend to have jewels and gold and just to keep any undesirables from robbing.
Right. Thanks. I'm gonna just head up the stairs now to meet up with the rest of the group. And then once I get up the stairs to meet up with them, I'm gonna kind of look behind me and make sure nobody followed me, and then we're gonna close the door to the bedroom with all of us in here.
Alright,
Okay. So, I think my theory. I believe that maybe we're not dealing with necessarily some kind of crazy monster, but maybe a wizard. Not me, not me. Another wizard. Um, so I guess there was some kind of sorcerer or wizard buried here, supposedly with some artifacts. And he's got locked doors that lead to his room in the crypt. Um, Supposedly two of them. I think that this person is attempting to grave rob, so to speak. And maybe the abbot had one of the two keys, or both.
Let's say, would Casimir have made it down in time to hear that, or that
you guys,
explain?
this would have happened like while you
As they
were,
were going down,
yeah,
yeah.
doing your searching and all that. Yeah.
I could attempt to find out.
So you're saying somebody killed the abbot to get whatever magical object is in the crypt?
Personally, my money's on Hannick. But maybe he's just an accomplice. He's definitely wrapped up in it.
Do
I
we have an access to the crypt?
Well, we could go into the crypt. Um, I don't think the front entrance is necessarily closed, although it does sound like there are some locked areas.
And nobody else has a key beside the abbot. How do those monks go in there and clean the
Well,
tombs?
to be fair, I didn't ask who had a key. He directed me to Hannick, and Hannick is not being helpful. So,
What do you mean? He's lying to you?
I mean, you were there. Oh, you probably didn't. He was not telling us everything. He definitely was lying, yes.
I see.
My
Would
reliquary's charging up at the moment. I used up too much of the energy when I healed your wound, Antonaz. If you give me an hour, I might be able to detect if he's feeling especially guilty.
Should we check if the crypt is open, though? If the lock is still there?
We should probably do that, yeah.
I can attempt to find out if Hammock is lying.
Without killing him? Or torturing him?
You know, I usually don't resort to killing, especially if it's just a person.
Do you have means of sussing it out?
Call it an old man's intuition.
Oh, I suppose you... Well, I guess I didn't really get a good read on how old you are. After all, you look quite young, although, to be honest, I never was good at telling how old or young raven folk look.
Well, to be fair, there aren't that many of us, especially in this country. But nevertheless, I might go and see Hammock.
Alright. You find that he's just leaving the kitchen area after Cannis asked for something to eat and then kind of bolted.
I need him to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, are you using the... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just a straight commoner, so... Oh yeah, that's just like a straight roll then if it's a commoner. I'll just roll a d20. 17.
Yep, that gets it.
That bitch.
Yep. You, yeah, nothing happens.
I just go grab some food from the place and come back.
What did you figure out?
Horse shit.
I don't follow.
Let's just say his mind wasn't particularly, open. But maybe if you want to, we can wait an hour and use your thing, whatever it might be. Or we can just go check out the crypt.
Well, maybe let's go check out the crypt, and then if we can't make any headway, we'll stop and wait. I feel like if we stop and wait here, the thief could be in and out without us even knowing. Hell, he could be down there right now.
As you guys are talking, you suddenly hear a scream from the second floor. A woman's scream.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna draw my rapier, and I think it that way. I'm gonna kind of look towards.
Alright.
I'm gonna look towards Atanaz to like be like, "Are you going?" Like, it's like I'll follow you. You go.
Alright, as
And I
whoever...
draw my sword and I go up.
Alright, as you guys run up to the second floor, we are going to go ahead and take a break. Come at